Have you ever had this experience where you are taking a walk or you were stuck in traffic in your car? Then all of a sudden, you hear these knocks on your window. You look out and then there are a bunch of kids asking for something from you. The question that always comes to mind is, where are their parents? I am Edinam Nkunu, and this is the focal point. The sexual intercourse between a man and a woman is what normally generates into the pregnancy of the woman. Now, children that are born become the offsprings of the man and the woman that engage in this sexual intercourse. The man and the woman through whom their child comes into this world assume a new role, parenthood. And the male parent is called the father, the female parent is called the mother. Both of them are responsible for taking care of the child. In fact, parents are responsible for the proper upbringing of their children. This is why in the traditional Ghanaian society, where the extended family system was working, you'd see that the extended family serves as a check on parents who are irresponsible, thus making them responsible so that they can take care of their children. A deviant child does not become the problem of only the parent. A deviant child becomes the problem of the extended family as well as the entire society. Now, as parents, when you bring a child into the world, you are responsible for the proper upbringing of that child so that that child can fit into the society in which you live. Even in the past, where large family sizes were encouraged for the purposes of labor, children were never left to fend for themselves. Right here in Ghana, in our towns and in our cities, even in our small communities, we see lots of children on the streets fending for themselves. Children that are not more than 4 years of age, struggling to survive. Today, you see girls that are actively engaged in sexual activities even before they see their first menses. That is worrying. You see boys that can smoke all manner of things, that can go through any tiny window, even before they start developing pubic hairs. Now, when I see these children, the first question I ask is, where are their parents? Where are their parents? Hunger has put a lot of children in survival mode than any other phenomena known to man. You see, on the fundamental human needs, food, clothing, and shelter are there. But guess what? Food comes first. So when you starve a child, you put that child in survival mode, and that child would do anything just to have a full stomach. To that child, the dream is a full stomach, a dream that he or she wants to see come true. When a young boy is hungry, the first thing he thinks of is how to get a full stomach. He would steal from anybody. He would go through any window. He would attack anyone he can just to have a full stomach. When a young girl is hungry, mostly we consider them more vulnerable than the young boys. What do? They also become prey to any man out there who is willing to offer them anything. And these girls are deflowered, their innocence taken away, their childhood lost. They are now survivors in the jungle of humanity. This is the reality that we are having in our country today. That there are so many street children, and the question remains, where are their parents? Irresponsible parents have abandoned their children or had no plan of bringing them into the world, but did bring them into the world anyway, and they are out there suffering. A problem to the entire society. You see, in the Ewe language, we have some words like jimakla and plamase. These words are used to describe deviant behaviors, but one casts insults directly on the parent and the other casts insults directly on the child, therefore indemnifying the parent. When someone tells a child in the Ewe language, jimakla, that basically means that when you were born, your parents didn't culture you. Which means that in our local societies, we understand that it is the job, the responsibility, the duty of the parent to give these children proper upbringing and culturing. Plamase, on the other hand, means that your parents tried to culture you. In fact, they did everything they could. But you, the child, were just too stubborn that you didn't listen. But then, when you see these young ones on the street, how would you describe them? Jimakla or plamase? Because in any event, these young ones are too young to be left to fend for themselves. Today, we are talking about youth unemployment, a security risk. But have we taken the time to see, to note, that these young ones that are on the streets can become a potential security risk tomorrow? The question remains, where are their parents? We should remember this. Children never asked to be born. It was the action of a man and a woman that brought them into the world. So you cannot shirk your responsibility and then leave them to fend for themselves. Imagine a teenage girl that is left to survive by herself. How do you think she will do this? How do you think she will do this? These young ones will start selling their bodies and start engaging in acts that we consider immoral. But guess what? The parents contributed to it. In fact, if we would look at it critically, most of the social vices that we are having today started from the family, which is the basic unit of socialization for every child. Yes, I am not excited about this particular message, but this is to tell the parents out there and give them this simple message, that if you are not ready to do the time, do not do the crime. If you are not ready to assume the responsibility of looking after another human being, teaching the child, nurturing the child, protecting the child from this harsh world that we find ourselves in, do not bring that child into the world. Like I was saying, the simple message is, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Thank you.